Hello, my name is Marcos Chavez. I'm 35. Today's date is January 13th, 2014. We're in Gallup, New Mexico, and I'm here with a very honored guest.
My name is Hiroshi H. Miyamura. I am 88 years of age, and today's date is 1/13/14. I'm at the Gallup Library.
Thank you for being here.
I'm honored to be here.
So, can you tell me, were you born and raised here in Gallup?
Yes, I was. My father ran a restaurant on Cole Avenue for many years.
Wow. What was the name of the restaurant?
OK Cafe.
Oh.
It was
And-
long before you were born.
Yes, I'm sure. And was your father born here, or they
My
migrate?
father came and mother both came in. He came earlier when he was about 14, and my aunt was running a boarding house in Gomurko, which is a mining camp 3 miles north of Gallup. And she housed a lot of bachelor miners. And my father came to visit her that year when he was 14. Went back to Japan. Eventually married my mother, and they had a child before they were able to come back. He was drafted, had to serve 2 years in the Japanese army. So by the time they came to Gallup, it was in the early 1900s, and he did settle in the coal mining camp of Gomurko, worked in the mine, not in the mine, but as a weigher of the coal at the mine for a year or so, then eventually moved into Gallup and built a hamburger stand that I was told, and ran that for a few years, and then progressed to this big restaurant right in the middle of Cole Avenue.
How long was the restaurant there on Cole?
I can't really tell you for sure. Most of us, my oldest sister was born in Japan, but my other siblings, 4 sisters and a brother, were born here in Gallup. And he ran the OK Cafe until my mother passed away in 1937. And from there, he moved to a smaller restaurant just a few buildings down east of where he was, and he ran that restaurant for a number of years. But I can't give you any time as to how long he ran either restaurant.
So, what was it like growing up during the World War II time period?
Well, it wasn't much different than what I experienced any other normal child would growing up here in Gallup. Because of my Asian blood, the people, by the way, the people of Gallup were all immigrants. And so we grew up together. We knew each other, and we all considered ourselves Americans. So we had no problem when the war broke out. And in fact, I tried to join the Army along with my high school buddies, and I was turned down and told that because of my ethnicity, I could not volunteer for the service, or I could not even be drafted.
Wow.
But I enjoyed a childhood like any normal American boy would in Gallup.
Well, that's great. So when did you finally find a way into the Army?
Only because of what this Japanese American unit from Hawaii did during the war. They volunteered, wanted to prove their loyalty, so they eventually sent a battalion of them overseas to Europe, and they did so well, but suffered heavy casualties, that our government decided to form a regiment. And they needed volunteers, and they reversed their decision of reclassifying us from 4C to A1. 4C was enemy alien. But that when the Gallup boys, there was about 7 or 8 of us, were drafted then. And I was drafted a little later because of my age, but